Hello and welcome. My name is Ali Goff. I'm the owner and founder of Goff Legal. And this is a video series, one of many, where we are talking about Medi-Cal planning. If you'd like a history of Medi-Cal and how we got here, not this video, go back, find the history video. This one, I'm going to be talking about specifically information on what the laws are now, effective January 1st, 2026. So, depending on when you're watching this, if it's after January 2026, these are the laws, and this is how you qualify um, for Medi-Cal or how your loved one qualifies, depending on why you're watching this video. So, quick reminder, January 1st, Medi-Cal is going to count assets to determine if you are eligible for long-term care assets. So we're going to look at your assets. You're literally going to tell them, here's all the stuff you have. And they're going to say, okay, based on the assets you have, you qualify or you don't qualify. I'm going to give you more information than that so you don't just send it in, right? There is a whole process of how to do this, okay? So first, the limits. You can have, as an individual, $130,000 in cash and investments. If you're a couple, you can have $195,000 cash and investments. If you do have other household members who are dependents, it's an additional $65,000 that you're allowed to keep in your name and still qualify for Medi-Cal. Now, that household person and dependent is a pretty limited um, definition and doesn't work for most people, but it is there. So I want to make sure we've mentioned that in case that does apply to you. Now, this is if we're talking about going into Medi-Cal. There are some assets that are exempt, meaning you can keep these assets and still get coverage for Medi-Cal long-term care, nursing home essentially. One of them is a primary residence, your house. That's good, right? You get to keep that, including your home equity. You can have one vehicle. You can have all of the contents, household goods in your home, some burial funds, and retirement accounts in payout, meaning you're starting to take required minimum distributions. If you've reached that age, you know you've reached that age because you have to take those fees. I believe it's, I think, 70 or 72 or something that is the date you're required. So if you have retirement accounts in payout, they are exempt from the qualification and you get to keep them. But if you have a second piece of property or rental home, family cabin, even if you have like an interest in that, maybe it's not 100% yours, you share it with someone else, that could disqualify you from Medi-Cal. If you have $200,000 in cash and you're single, you're only allowed to have 130, which means you need to either spend down, gift carefully, don't just start gifting stuff. This is not advice, this is information, or reallocate into a more protective mechanism like a Medi-Cal asset protection trust. I'll go over those in a different video, but just know there's some strategies that you can employ to take your assets from what they are and make you eligible for Medi-Cal. One of the questions we get a lot is, well, why would we want to do that? I don't feel that that's right. I think we should, I don't understand. And this is what I'd say. $130,000 is not a lot of money considering the things that, let's say you keep your house and you go into a skilled nursing facility. Medi-Cal covers the cost of most of it. They're not going to cover your nail appointments, your hair appointments, going out to eat, giving gifts to your grandkids or your kids, your travel expenses. They're not going to cover the car or someone driving you around, vacations if you want to go on them. They're not going to cover any of that. They're going to cover the very basic bare bones. And if you have a home, maybe your spouse is living in, or that you wanted to keep the equity, you want to make sure that that home went to your family, there's going to be some upkeep on that. And $130,000 honestly might not last that long if that's the only thing you have. But if you were able to take, let's say you had $250,000, and rather than spend it down to 130 and then slowly trickle it, if you could invest that $250,000, it could help pay for some of the extra things Medi-Cal doesn't cover. It might be able to cover the upkeep, maintenance, taxes, insurance, all the things on your home, so that when you pass, it can go to the people that you want it to go to. So those are two important points. How do we qualify for Medi-Cal? And also, why are we doing this specifically? I will note this is complicated, and my very simple explanation of what you can keep is not the end all be all. This is something that requires the assistance of probably two people. One is an attorney to help you determine what assets you have, will help you figure out the eligibility. But the person who's really going to help you with the application, how much the share of cost is, what things in more finite detail can you keep, and do you need to reallocate, is going to be someone who actually applies for those benefits, helps you fill out that paperwork. Um, Sometimes they're called care managers. There's a number of people. I have some referrals for you if you're looking for that, because we don't do that in our office. But those are really, really important two people you need to chat with before you start gifting, giving, transferring, because there's some severe penalties. This is the second thing I need to tell you. There's a look back period. If you want to apply for Medi-Cal January 2nd, 2026, they're going to say, great, there's a 30-month look back period. Show me all of your assets and everything you've done over the last 30 months to make sure that you didn't improperly gift or severely discount and sell assets, which could disqualify you from Medi-Cal or disqualify you for a number of months, sometimes years, if you do it wrong. So it's really, really important that you get legal advice and some qualification advice to figure out, if you have more than those limits I talked about, what are the strategies? I'm going to do my next video on strategies, some of the options that we use to help people out for Medi-Cal planning. But this one was specifically on how do we qualify? Who do we talk to? Um, and of course, a warning, because, wouldn't be a good lawyer video without a good warning. You can find actually more information on our website, gofflegal.com, and then keep watching these videos to get some more on Medi-Cal.